Hello and welcome back. I hope that by now you have integrated what we talked about last in terms of having more optimal diet to support your fertility and your hormones. I hope that you have started doing the fertility reboot and are seeing the benefits. Today, we're going to talk about sleep and how important sleep is to your fertility. So, I call this section Sleep Your Way to Optimal Fertility because this sleep is such a crucial foundation for supporting fertility, supporting the optimal daily rhythm that is creating the foundation or the building blocks for your reproductive hormones. Cortisol, if you don't have enough cortisol, will actually be detrimental. And if you have too much cortisol, then it's definitely detrimental. These are all the things that you've heard of. Oh, stress affects negatively your fertility and all of the things that we discussed in the fertility reboot. So what you should know about the cortisol and melatonin rhythm is that there are two surges of cortisol through the day. The first surge happens in the morning, within the first 30 minutes of waking up. This is called the cortisol awakening response and is super crucial to supporting the energy that you have throughout your day. The second push is going to happen somewhere around midday, maybe 3 to 4 hours after your wake up time. So that cortisol push is designed to get you through the rest of the day. And then usually around sunset is when melatonin production begins. And the shift from light to dark is really what's controlling cortisol and melatonin. Melatonin, a lot of people don't realize the importance of your body's own production of melatonin. Melatonin is a super powerful hormone that is produced by our pineal gland, not only to help us sleep, but it is the main hormone that's creating rejuvenation in the body. So if you are not sleeping well, you can almost guarantee that the quality of your reproduction or your eggs and sperm is going to be negatively impacted by not having enough of this hormone and potent antioxidant that is so crucial to making good quality eggs and good quality sperm. Now, remember that I stressed it needs to be inherent production. This is the first step. You can supplement. If you're a woman, you can supplement. Men should not supplement melatonin. Please note, men should not supplement melatonin. I'm going to say that again because a lot of men do take melatonin to sleep, and there have been small studies, there are still bigger studies needed, but small studies that suggest that melatonin could negatively be impacting sperm health. However, if your body is producing its optimal cortisol and melatonin on its own, you don't need to worry about whether or not it's negatively impacting, because if your body's producing it, it's super necessary. And supporting your own body's production is the optimal way to support your fertility. So cortisol is stimulated when the behind our eyes, it's called the optic chiasm, when it's stimulated with light, and melatonin is supported, or melatonin production is supported when the optic chiasm notices darkness. So light and dark, day and night, is the rhythm that creates the foundation of so many hormones related to fertility. So, what are the hacks? So there's a nighttime routine and then there's a morning routine. The nighttime routine should entail using blue light filter glasses if you are at a screen, whether that's a TV, a computer, or whatever, beyond sunset. So if you are working or doing other things, you should be using blue light filter glasses after sunset. There are some suggestions for blue light filter glasses in our Amazon store, so feel free to check those out. I have went through a lot of different glasses to test out and to see what actually works. I used to get crazy headaches, and I think it was with the start of being on my computer a lot more since we transitioned everything to being online. I was spending so much more time at my computer and quickly realizing that I was getting these headaches and I couldn't figure out what was going on until I started noticing all of these different studies around blue light filter glasses. And then I went on a rampant hunt to find glasses that worked. And it took a lot of trial and error. So I have done the work for you. The glasses that are in the Amazon store are the only ones that actually helped with my headache without making the screen that I was looking at so discolored that it was no longer fun to look at that screen. So it's the right balance of filtering the blue light, but not making everything yellow or orange, which is not fun. So that's a really simple thing that you can do. Turn off your screens at least an hour before bed. So that's super important to have that last hour be something more gentle where you're not looking at a screen is really, really helpful to optimizing melatonin and how well it works. And then taking time to connect with your partner or doing self-reflection at night, that's a really great routine to integrate because that is a good time for if you're connecting with your partner. In our VIP coaching program, we do a couples retreat where you actually learn things that you can do with each other as a practice to support your relationship because as you all know, fertility definitely has impacted many people's relationships. And we do want you to make sure that you come out of this fertility journey, not only having had a baby, but having gotten stronger in your relationship to your partner so that you guys can create the foundation for a very healthy, supportive family. The other thing that I forgot to put in the nighttime routine is to do the simple things. You've probably heard these before, but having completely blackout curtains in your bedroom is very, very important. If you live in a city, you're exposed to lights. I've lived in or stayed at Airbnbs that are in the city where the light is just filtering in. It's impossible for your brain to produce the melatonin it needs to get good, rejuvenative, high quality sleep if you're exposed to any sort of lights. So you must have blackout curtains and you want to turn off the Wi-Fi signal whenever as much as possible. So if you sleep next to your phone, you should at least minimally turn your phone into airplane mode. If you don't sleep next to your phone, that's great. If you are unable to turn your phone to Wi-Fi, some of my clients have noted that they started putting their phones outside of the bedroom. They wanted to still be able to be contacted by family if in case of an emergency or whatever. But they stick their phones outside of their bedroom. So that works too. That's fine. As long as the Wi-Fi signal is not near your bed, it is fine. The other component to consider is turning off your routers at night. So if this is doable, I highly recommend it. There are studies that have suggested that EMFs are contributing to our hormonal patterns that are not so great. So those are some suggestions or hacks to integrate into your life a better way to sleep and not have those EMFs affecting you negatively. I also have put into the Amazon store, there are these crystal pyramid. I am forgetting what the name of it is right now. I will put it into this PowerPoint before I upload it, so you'll have it on this sheet, even though you don't see it on the screen right now. But there are these pyramid things that are really suggested. Whether they work or not, I'm not sure. I have one next to my bed. I have one under my bed. I hope it's doing something, but there are lots of people that I've read that say that those crystals help to filter out or not have the EMFs as negatively affecting your body as can be expected from crystals. So that's another additional protection that you can do. But of course, my ideal is to just turn off the Wi-Fi. That's the best. Okay, so what you do at night, super important to how well you're going to sleep. What most people don't realize is what you're going to do in the morning is equally important and equally going to affect how well your body produces melatonin at night. So your morning routine is just as important, and it needs to, at the minimum, expose yourself to full spectrum natural light within the first 30 minutes of waking up. That's a really good starting point. Start your day with intentionality. That essentially means create a plan, create a schedule, create some sort of rhythm where you start your day with reflection as well, and create some intentions for your day. Create, in addition to your work life, create intentions for your body and your self-care and self-love practices, which are going to support your fertility in more ways than you can imagine. So integrate that into your life. And when we get to the self-care portion of this training, I will give you lots of ideas of what that could look like. Also, do not overload your to-do list. Aim for success and wins. That means you are going to make your to-do list doable, right? Don't put so much on your to-do list that you end your day feeling unsuccessful or feeling like you have not done enough, because that does not add wins. You want to get as many wins as you can, because I imagine, and I have noticed over the years that so many of you are like me in so many ways, right? I see myself in everything that you do. And this is part of why I feel like I was put on this planet to do this work, because I am a recovering perfectionist. I am the chronic overachiever. I just stretch myself way too thin. So I know all of these patterns. And the most important thing I can tell you is to shift that pattern, to shift those kind of deep-seated patterns that we've created when we were children, is to shift something like this where we make our day doable. Amazing. It sounds so simple, but it's really, really hard. So that's chronically me. So I will say, oh, that thing will only take 30 minutes. And 3 hours later, I'm still working on it. So really be objective, be mindful of how much you're throwing onto your plate, and don't stretch yourself too thin. And then the last two are little hacks based on how you feel. So if you feel anxious in the morning, your morning should integrate meditation and or alternate nostril breathing. This will help to lower the production of cortisol first thing in the morning. And remember, I said, if you're feeling anxious in the morning, or you feel like you wake up and you have to like go, that is too much cortisol awakening response right in the morning. And the way to mediate that is to do some meditation or alternate nostril breathing. And if you don't know what that is, I'm sure you can YouTube it and it should come up to some videos that you can follow. If you wake up in the morning lacking energy and dragging and feeling groggy, make sure that you are getting sunlight first thing in the morning. If you live in an area that does not have sunlight early in the morning, like you live in Portland where it's gray 9 months of the year, or you live in the Bay Area where it's gray in the morning till the fog burns off, you're gonna need a full spectrum light bulb or what they call a light box. And these things are not expensive. They're like $30. You can stick one on your bedside table, or better yet, you can even put it on your kitchen table where you sit down to have breakfast or tea or whatever your morning routine is. Put it there so that it doesn't disturb your partner who might be still sleeping or has a different wake up schedule or whatever it is. You can have that as a way to stimulate the production of cortisol. And then the other hack to stimulate production of cortisol in the morning is to exercise. So getting even like 10 minutes of really intense, high intensity exercise will help to increase cortisol production. So that is a great way to add or support your production of cortisol in the morning. And the better your cortisol response in the morning, the better your melatonin response at night. So think of them as like yin and yang. If you don't have enough yang, you're not going to have enough yin. They are needing to be in balance. So you need cortisol in the morning, and if you're not getting that response appropriately, you're probably struggling equally with the melatonin. So nighttime routine, morning time routine. As I said, I'm going to add a few little extra notes to the nighttime routine since I forgot some things. And you can print this out and put it on your bedside table or behind your bed or whatever, wherever it works for you to glance at and have little reminders around you that support how to sleep and how to get the best out of your sleep to support your fertility. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.